Wife's Christmas gift to me was so shockingly unexpected. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. My wife of 4 years, the mother of my 2-year-old son, cheated on me this past Christmas. It was her decision to cheat. She chose to conceal the phone conversations, chose to lie about where she was going, manipulated the other person involved into thinking things were worse off than they actually were. I caught her on Monday the 23rd of December and it shattered my Christmas. Understand that I hold my wife accountable for her actions and decisions she made. I'm sick to the point I've taken time off work, cried myself to sleep for weeks at a time, and my friends and family are beyond worried. Mainly they don't know the whole story. Yet, I don't entirely blame my wife for her cheating because I effed up. About a year ago, my wife started hormone therapy because we were trying for our second child. Because my wife has a pre-existing medical condition where her moods are affected. Finding the right doctor to treat us and then the correct dosage was a true challenge. Long story short, a series of symptoms got masked under the disguise of hormone therapy and my wife's mental condition deteriorated rapidly. The detoxifying process of the hormones lasted 3 months and flushed out her prescription medications as well. She was cold turkey from all medication for the first time in her adult life. She was a nightmare to deal with. Because of that, I ignored her needs and stopped living up to my vows for better or for worse. My wife, even though she was being unbearably difficult, was pleading with me for help and I was ignoring her. In deck, she decided to cheat on me with a good friend on 3 separate occasions and I found out on the 3rd occasion. We fought, argued, words were exchanged and she moved out back to her parents around the time of New Year's. We started marriage counseling immediately, but it felt like a band-aid on a hemorrhaging wound. I found out how unhappy she had been, how she felt like she was screaming into a void and nobody was listening. It tore me up because I didn't know, because I only saw the surface problems. Through late-night phone conversations and weekend sessions with the counselor did we make enough progress where we agreed to meet up for Valentine's Day. The evening was nice. Sex was good, but I felt nothing for her. I was dead inside and it truly frightened me that I could care less if she lived or died at that moment. My wife, the mother of my child. I felt nothing for her. I plan on going to see a therapist next week and last night was the first restful night's sleep I've gotten in God knows how long. I have absolutely no idea what direction my life will go in or if the relationship with my wife will continue. I know that I love her. I'm just not in love with her at this moment in time. That I can say for certain. Here is the second story. 14 years down the drain for her coworker. I just found out that my wife has been cheating on me with one of her coworkers. I am devastated and don't know what to do. I've confronted her about it and found out she's been doing it for the past 3 months. She's been having more sex with him than she has with me in the past 3 months and had let him finish in her multiple times. I love this woman too much to completely end the 14-year relationship we have. My heart says work it out and find a way for the trust to be rebuilt, but everything else is telling me to get a divorce immediately. I have been a devoted husband for the past 2 years and devoted boyfriend for the previous 12 years. 14 years down the drain. I feel so betrayed and heartbroken and so angry at myself for being such an understanding husband. I let her go out and do whatever she wished because I trusted that our relationship was strong, but now I'm afraid to even let her go to work. I really want her to just quit and be a stay-at-home wife since I make enough to support us, but then I feel that is further punishing me because now, on top of my wife having unprotected sex with another man, I now have to pay for everything just to have the peace of mind that she's not spreading her legs for other coworkers. I feel the only way to get over it is to just hook up with some random girl, but also don't think that'll change how I'm feeling. I feel so dumb. Here is the third story. She confessed everything that she did before we got married. My wife finally broke down on Monday morning and confessed that she trickle-truthed me about spending the night at her ex-boyfriend's house 1 month into our exclusive relationship 9 years ago. For 9 years, she told me she went over there to talk/find closure and swore they never had sex. My gut always felt something was off. But when I asked about it, she always gaslighted me into believing I was crazy, insecure, needed to drop it, believe her, etc. I probably asked her about it 20 times over the course of 9 years. My fault for not listening to my gut and calling it quits earlier? Sure. But here we are 9 years later, married with a kid. She confessed on Monday morning through sobbing tears. She told me she didn't just fall asleep on the couch that night like she told me. They had sex one final time and she never told me about it. They were together for 7 years and we started dating only a month after they broke up. Looking back, I can almost sympathize with the cheating. It makes sense. She cheated on her 4-week boyfriend with her ex-lover of 7 years one last time for closure. How do I know it was the last time? The day after she cheated, she told him we were together and he lost his shit. He started stalking her and she got a restraining order against him. I trust her that was the last time. So yes, I do forgive her cheating. I'm a very sexual person. Would I possibly have done the same? Cheat on my rebound fling with my long-term ex in a state of confusion and sadness? There's a good chance. I'll say that. What I'm having a hard time getting past is the lying. She lied to me for 9 years about this and made me feel like the crazy one. She told me she was scared shitless about telling me, wanted to take it to the grave to avoid hurting me, and that it was a constant source of extreme anxiety for her the entire time. Also that the longer she went without telling me, the worse it was. She knew I deserved the truth but knew that if she told me, she was certain she'd lose me. So here we are, 9 years in, with a kid, and I'm trying to forgive the deceit about this single issue. I don't want a divorce. I really don't want a divorce. I want to move on because if we were to erase this from our playbook, everything else is pretty much perfect. Here is the 4th story. My wife and I met when we were teenagers. Objectively looking in, she always had the better support system, a close family that always provided their help when needed, and she always had a better sense of direction with what she wanted to do with her life. I was the complete opposite. I had very little support growing up and was lucky if I could talk to my family for more than 5 minutes without an argument happening. I got my life together shortly after and have a great relationship with my siblings, but the point is, I always looked up to my wife for the amazing person she was. She was always on top of the mountain and I was struggling to keep up. When she confessed to her affair, my self-esteem was so low I felt like I still didn't deserve her. I no longer struggle with self-esteem issues, but I hit a low when I decided to cheat. There was a period of time when her friend would constantly try to make a move on me, even before my wife's affair. I never once thought of betraying my wife and always stood firm. However, after my wife's affair, I knew I could easily cheat with her friend. When I did it, I hurt my wife even more because it was someone close to her. When I confessed to my wife, she broke down, but she blamed herself for my affair. I've never seen her so defeated. Even though I broke her, she's trying like hell to make up for her affair. The irony is that she begged me not to divorce her after my confession. I lost my moral high ground of not being a cheater and completely broke my wife. I will continue to make it up to her, but I wished I would have left her instead of cheating. I don't know what I gained from posting this, but any advice and harsh criticism is welcomed. Here are some of the best comments from our community. I think you should lend yourself some forgiveness. The pain and betrayal of infidelity leads people to do drastic and uncharacteristic things. Some of drive the pain inwards and we hurt ourselves through drugs, alcohol, self-mutilation, or even attempt suicide. Others act out and seek a revenge affair. And maybe because I drive the pain towards myself, I feel like your reaction is healthier. You at least balance the scales. But it doesn't make it less painful. From here you both have a lot of work. But try and see your choices from a more realistic lens. You need to forgive yourself too. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.